Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, y'all are having a great Monday. We're on about 5 minutes early today because wanted to look at Friday's trades that I opened over on my spreadsheet, available through the Proven Discord linked in the pinned comment in the live chat. Let me switch over to this account and. So the trades that I opened on Friday right before the close was an Iron Condor that expires for Wednesday and then a call debit spread that expires today. Good morning, Irfan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, but yeah, so these are the two trades that I had opened on Friday. Call debit spread assuming that we're going to be above 390 this morning. And then a Iron Condor, assuming that we're going to be between 382 and 395. So very wide range. I didn't get much credit for it. Only 32 each. And then this one I only paid 45. So there's a decent amount of upside here to be had, especially given that SPY is trading at 390.3 versus the close whenever I open this at 388. So got it for a decent value. Good morning, Jason. And if we go to my January calendar, we had all green days for the first week of the year, which is great to see. Didn't make much money on Friday because I did end up taking a pretty sizable loss. I think this one, the 135 loss from put debit spread. That trade didn't go as planned, obviously. Bottom at 39, but I only bought 5 because I just wasn't super confident in it. Usually on Fridays, I like to size down my trades because the volatility of the market makes it a lot harder to trade for me. But anyway, trading at 390.42, and my assumption is that we're probably going to keep going up this morning. We're just going to continue the trend from Friday's close after 3 o'clock, which was positive. Currently, RSI is at 63. This is the 2-day 5-minute chart. I expect that bullishness to probably continue till, I would think, probably 11 to around 2 p.m., but we'll see how long it lasts. I did color code the price levels, like I said I would. So this is the hourly, the red is the 5-minute, and then the yellow is daily. So our next price level to the upside is a daily. That's at 393.29. And then our next bottom price target or support level is 389.76, which is an hourly candle. And then below that is 386.50. I'd say there's a decent chance we stay above 386.50 unless we start selling off by the end of the day because Powell is speaking tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That could potentially spook the markets into a sell-off. So I might fade this sentiment at the end of the day. I think that might be a decent trade to take on if Powell's speech has any weight to it. It is supposed to be a speech about the Fed's independence, which I don't think is going to have that much impact on the market, but you know, it's kind of a wild card. It's Powell speaking. Everybody thinks that he's the most bearish person there is, so we'll see. Good morning, Martin. Hirotic. Welcome, everybody. Looks like UVixie is continuing to murder my account. Currently trading at 630. Gonna buy some more shares of it later on today. But the call debit spread that I had open, this doesn't even make sense. They shouldn't be trading for more than 1, but the bid is 126. I mean, if somebody's actually willing to pay more than the difference between the strike prices, then go ahead, but it doesn't really make much sense. So I bought 8 of these at 45 a piece. Right now they're trading at 58 each. If we head on over to the price levels, currently we're trading just above that 389.76 mark. So kind of up in the air, but we're above 50 RSI, so that's a positive for right now. Looks like GLD just went up some more, currently trading at 174.5 or above. Can you make a video on how to set up my charts? Yeah, I can make a Thinkorswim setup video. Yeah, so we closed at like 173.60 and now gold's up to 174 today. So the gold leaps that I have open ought to be doing pretty well. The cover call that I sold against my leaps is still not really gaining much value. Interesting enough, I guess it's going up slow enough to where it's not making much of a difference for the cover call, but the leaps I got is up about 20%, up $400 on the, how much did I pay? Like $2,300? Yeah, $2,400 that I paid for it. So not a bad return for this. And then this call debit spread is going for 60 now. SPY is currently trading, well, that is not SPY. There's SPY 390.64. So I think if we head maybe to the middle between 389.76 and 393.29, which is about 350 difference. 175 plus 389.75 would be, oh, math hurts. Like 391.50 if I had to guess. So if it goes to like 391.50, then I think I'll just head out of this trade. So I'll set that mark up. Actually, let me make an alert with it rather. Create alert. At or above 391.5. And that will be a close put debit spread, or call debit spread. Good morning, UT. Good stuff. Making 150 so far for this. And then the iron condor that I opened is down slightly just because SPY is rallying some more this morning, which means that the 396 call and the 395 calls that I sold for this is slightly higher risk now that it's trading closer to the strike prices. But we don't have any economic data coming out early this week between today and Thursday, which is going to be the CPI report. So I don't think we're going to get much movement at all until Thursday, which is why I opened the iron condor. But looks like we're pulling back a little bit. Still above 50 on the RSI. I'm going to get rid of my studies. Can already tell that it's bullish, so I don't really need this right now. Kind of looks like it's pulling back to that 389.76 mark, so we might just need to bounce out, take our profits, and leave it. Let's see, they're going for 54, 55. I think I want to close them, try to close them for 55. Let's see. No, it looks like we might have caught a bounce on the 389.76 mark. So I'll try to close them for 60 now. See if we can get that order filled. Probably not, thanks to Robinhood and their bid-ask spreads, but we can always try it. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to lower our order to like 58 or 59 if we want to get filled. 0.58. Come on now. Alright, yeah, we just tagged a 389.76 mark, so we'll see if we crash or if we bounce on that. Got an order of 58. Doesn't look like that's going to get filled either, but we'll wait and see. Dipping right below the 389.76 mark, so that might be the end of the rally. Let's check out the studies. We're probably still above 50 RSI if I had to guess. Yeah, we're actually below it. 45 on the RSI. Could be an overreaction, or we might just trade neutral. Gonna have to replace this order again. I'll go 53. I don't think I'm willing to give it up for anything less. I hate how slow Robinhood is. There we go. Alright, limit order to close at 53. That ought to get filled now. Yep. 8 for 424, so I guess we got filled at 53. We'll double check the math on it. Alright. Closing options alerts. Premium 101. Just took profits on the 389, 390 SPY call debit spread. This expires today, 1/9 at 53 each. 389, 390. All right. Originally opened at 45 each. So 53 minus 45 is 8 times the 8 that I opened. $64 profit, not too shabby. And that will go into my drive right away. That way I don't forget to log it. Alright, so if we go to the January logs, zoom out of this a little bit. This is the call debit spread, and we close it ourselves. We did not let it expire, and I closed it at 53 credit each. So $64 profit. Average win so far this month is 156. Average loss has been 118. Largest win has been 390. Largest loss 300. So pretty good start to the month. I think the win rate is around 60% if I had to guess. Yeah, 62%. So nice start to the month. Given that we're not going to have any economic data coming out today, we might just trade flat, and it's kind of convincing that we're trading at 50 on the RSI, but kind of worried about the bullishness possibly continuing off of the good unemployment rate coming out last week. Plus, if the momentum just continues from Friday, then it's likely to just keep going up. So I think a put credit spread would probably be our best guess for today. And 387 seems like a solid bet. Let me see how much credit I can get out of that. So looking at a put credit spread, assuming that we're going to be above 387. That is currently paying 14 cents in credit. It's not the best risk reward. We could go 388. Obviously, you take more risk the higher your strike price for the put. But that one is paying 22 cents in credit versus the 387, 386 strike prices is paying just 15. So you're getting about 50% more credit. Have red futures changed at all recently? I mean, we're trading up 0.5% for SPY right now, so. Let's see. Look at /ES for the SPY futures. And yeah, this is up just as much as the regular S&P 500 is. Like 0.5%. A long way to go to reach the next Fibonacci level at 3,800. And then to the upside, what is the next Fib level? 4,200. So there's a long way to go between either of those. Good morning, Al-Qaeda. Glad to see you here this morning. Oh, man. That 388 put credit spread is paying 23 cents. So the credit is going up, but the trend also seems to be possibly reversing, with it trading at 45 on the RSI. My computer just froze on that. God dang it. There we go. I would honestly rather take the 387 just for the safety of it, but the risk reward obviously is a lot lower because it's safer. Or I guess the risk reward is worse, not lower. It would be higher since the risk is higher. Good morning, Aaron. All right. All right, I think I do the 388, 387 put credit spread. It's paying 21.20. It's an okay credit. It's not my favorite, but willing to risk maybe 600 or so on it. So 7 of these at 19 each. Assuming that we're going to stay above 388, which is yesterday, or Friday's close, I should say. RSI 75 on Tesla. Not really surprised. It's so volatile. It's crazy. Oh, come on now. I'm not getting filled for that put credit spread now that it's jumping immediately. All right. They're gonna screw me over on the credit. Yep, they sure did. That's okay. But just open those put credit spreads. I'm assuming that we're going to stay above 388, which is yesterday's close. Probably going to close if it goes below that 389.76 mark again. But right now it's looking like it's working out. New options alert. P1F. Just opened a new SPY put credit spread. This one expires today. It's a day trade. 1/9 expiration. All right. So I got a total $120 a credit, which isn't a lot, but where is that close price of yesterday or Friday? I keep saying yesterday. Since we had the weekend, it would be Friday. 388.03 is the mark that we're looking for. 388.03, and I'll make this a red price level for the 5-minute chart. And usually on closes and opens, I like to give it a weight of 3 just to make it stand out a little bit. Have I seen Tesla? Let's check TSLA. Tesla. Currently trading at 120. So yeah, definitely catching a bounce. It's been selling off so damn hard over the last couple of months. Not really too surprised that it's bouncing this morning. They do have their earnings coming up on January 25th. So they still have about 2 more weeks until their earnings. You could potentially snag some calls. I think the fundamentals are still good for this quarter. Now they might start to deteriorate going into next quarter, especially as they lowered their prices and gave like $7,500 incentives for the end of the year, plus having to lower prices over in China by like 20 or 30%. So their margins are going to start to shrink in the coming quarters, but for this quarter, I think they'll probably be fine. So the fundamentals are still intact for this quarter. I would be worried probably about the guidance for the quarters going forward, though. Had to hit Robinhood with a RuneScape water bolt for them to fill my orders, honestly. Just freaking rush them. Rush them with some water bolts and some, what is it, P++ dagger, or dragon dagger, where it's like extra poisoned or whatever. Loot these noobs. All right. God dang it. Come on now. This isn't snapping into place like I wanted to. But yeah, that put credit spread I opened is doing pretty well. With the overall market being up today, I do kind of want to take a trade against the banks for later this week. So banks are going to be reporting earnings come Friday morning, and I think that banks are going to have a really bad quarter because they are making more on the bottom line because of the rates going up, and they're paying less interest and like APY, or how much you get whenever you deposit money. So their margins are going to be good, but the revenue is going to come down because nobody is buying a home right now because it's too damn expensive. The interest rates have gone up way too quickly for the housing prices to catch up on the downside. So less people borrowing money right now on large-scale purchases like homes and vehicles. So for me, I think it's going to be a really bad earnings for banks this week on Friday. We have Bank of America is reporting. I like to check over on eWhispers each week to see what companies are reporting on Twitter. I will link this. But we have Bank of America. We got Delta Airlines is one that I'm looking to trade. We got Citibank, Wells Fargo, and BlackRock. BlackRock announced some layoffs over the last week, and then Charles Schwab? No, not Charles Schwab. Another big bank was announcing layoffs. So if they're announcing layoffs, do you really think that they're going to have like a record earnings? Probably not. But that's what Wall Street expects of them. If you look at earningswhispers.com, look at Bank of America, They're expected to come in at 81-cent earnings per share. And if we look at previous earnings, ooh, they're already selling off, so this trade might not be good anymore. That sucks. I guess that's probably because of the layoff news from one of the big banks this morning. But 81-cent earnings per share was last quarter, so they really expect them to do just as well last quarter whenever interest rates were, what, like 75 plus 50, 200 basis points lower? Like half of what they were before? Yeah, that's cap in my opinion. No way they're going to do 81-cent earnings per share for this quarter. But I think it presents a decent short opportunity for banks at the end of this week. Bank of America has already fallen by 0.8% today, thanks to the news of, let's see. What company was it that had layoffs? God, if I remember. Let's go over to investing.com, and their headlines should include it. Goldman Sachs, that's the company that was laying people off. So that's probably why you're seeing banks selling off today. If we look at IYF, which is the financial sector, it's actually up positive 0.2. But if you look at, let's see, Wells Fargo maybe, they're down 0.3%. BNY, Bank of New York Mellon, actually that is not there. That's BlackRock, really. BLK is BlackRock. They're actually up 1.4% today. That's shocking. They're reporting earnings on Friday too, and I think that one's going to be just like the rest of them. What is the earnings per share and what have they done previously is the question, I guess. They are trading really high relative to, looks like SPY just went above 391.50, so doing good on the put credit spread that we opened, assuming that's going to be above 388. But yeah, looking at that BLK, that seems like an easy short for me. Let me head on over to Robinhood, check on that put credit spread right quickly. Currently up by $30, $40, so still some room to gain. Up 30%. Open them at 17. Currently they're going for 12. I'll say there's a good chance we stay above 388 today, but we also got to watch out for that 389.76 mark. If we come back below that, I think that's where we could run into some trouble. So I'm going to set a price alert with that 389.76 mark. Create alert with a drawing. Crosses below. All right, sweet. Got that set up. And now let's try to take on that BLK trade. It is really rallying off the jump, though, and the rest of big banks seem to be coming down, and considering they're trading at 748 versus a high of 899, they're not down that much. Let's check. So I'll do a little bit of a price analysis here so y'all can see how I set up my price analysis. So I'll use this gap right here. So the low of this candle was 762.16. I'll adjust it to actually meet what I need. 762.16. My dailies are always in yellow. Let me get rid of these down here. No longer relevant. All right, what other price levels do we got up top? There's a gap right here, but it's not really a resistance anywhere else. There was the bottom of the gap was a high of 788.41. So we can use that, 788.41. SPY heading back to the famous 395. Yeah, most traded price for the year. Yeah, if you look at the volume profile, it's very popular. I forget what that price level was now. Close or high was 788.41. And this will be yellow again because it's a daily. And that is a resistance there. Now maybe we get some candle of significance. There's no real candles of significance here. I would say there's a good chance they stay below 788, but the expected move for this week, or for next week actually, is $40 in either direction. Currently we're trading at 750 basically, so 790 is the top estimate for next week, so 790. So now I'll draw a little rectangle showing where it's supposed to be over the next couple of weeks. Doesn't mean that it's always going to stay in that price range, but this is based on one standard deviation. So 2/3 of the time it shouldn't move more than $40. So that would be 710 at the bottom of the range for next week. So this is your expected range. This is definitely a candle of significance here. So the open was 700.72. The close was 759.81. Divide that by 2 and you get 730.27. $730.27. And I generally just like to stick within the estimated risk range and don't go too far out of it. This one I do think could go outside of the bottom end of the risk range, but we'll see how the earnings actually shakes out. It's being so slow on me. Come on now. Alright, I don't think I'm going to be able to change the color of that, so we'll just leave it alone, I guess. Whenever Thinkorswim decides to load. There we go. 392 could be a price level. I'm looking at 391.50 is the price level I'm looking at for a pivot. If it does decide to pivot off of it. Will SPY go down anytime soon? Maybe tomorrow with Fed Chair Powell speaking, possibly. If not then probably Thursday would be my guess. That's when CPI or inflation is coming out. So that'll be possibly a negative, depending on if it comes in good or bad. If it comes in lower than what's expected, then that would be good for the market. The markets would probably go up like 3 or 4%. But if it comes in worse than expected, then that means the markets will probably sell off like 2 to 3%, in my best guess. I can't do anything with Thinkorswim right now. Jesus Christ, why is it so slow this morning? All right, well, I guess this trade just ain't meant to be right now. If I had to guess, though, probably going to head below that 730 mark, so I'll see if I can open a put debit spread, assuming that they'll be below 730. The put credit spread I opened is currently up by 50, so that's doing well. I'm just gonna have to force quit Thinkorswim right now. It ain't doing nothing for me. All right. But yeah, we're trading above that 391.50 mark, so we might just continue off of that. Let me reload my Thinkorswim maybe. Hopefully it'll speed up a little bit. But yeah, that put credit spread currently up by 40. Might close out of it soon. It's trading below 9 or below 10, so that's a decent exit. I'd say I probably want to close it at like 8, but don't want to get too greedy with it and ask for too much of the market. We're already up by like 40% for it, so decent profit to start. All right, now let me change this color. There we go. All right, so I think we're going to be below that 730 mark for BlackRock. You also got a price level way down here below the expected range. Off a gap again. So usually I use gap price levels and then candlestick significance for the daily chart. And the low for this was 700.14. So that'll be the bottom of the gap. 700.14. Assign it to yellow since it's a daily. And then I move to the shorter time frame of 20-day 1-hour chart. We do have some candlestick significance here as well. But I'm looking at this one right here. The close of this candle at 3 p.m. on 12/21 was 7/12/93. All right. Got some candlestick significance up here. This one was definitely one. 740.86 was the open. 740.86 closed at 729.96. 729.96. Divide that by 2 and you get 735.41. 735.41. All right, and that'll be blue since it's an hourly. All right, what other price levels can we look at? This one's too close for this candle of significance. This one's too close to that. Maybe we use this close right here on 1/4. So that closed at 718.86. 18.86. Again, blue because it's hourly. Just to differentiate them. And there's no higher price levels than that. So now we move over to the 2-day 5-minute chart. There's not really much that's relevant here that we haven't already kind of got close to. You could use this. This was kind of where it paused for a minute. 724.5, so it's a nice round-ish number, 724.5. And this will be red since it's a 5-minute candle. Not really much else that's relevant, though. Maybe the 748 level-ish, based on this candle of significance, but it's not really that much of a candle of significance. It's not that much larger, but it was kind of a breakout candle, so we'll use it. 746, 41, closed at 749.42, 749.42. Divide that by 2, and you get 747.92. 747.92. 392 reversal to 387 incoming. Maybe. We'll see. Those put credit spreads are going for 10 now. So they actually gained a little bit of value. 10-year treasury rate is flat today. The dollar is down, so that could mean that stocks continue to go up just based on the fundamentals. And then no news over the weekend means that you're probably just going to continue what happened on Friday. But yeah, my assumption, this BlackRock is going to come down by the end of the week after the earnings report. I'm going to set the expiration date for next week. Let's see. Yeah, I think 7:30 is an easy mark to watch. 7:35 if you want to really be safe with it. So if we look at BLK, that is not. I was looking at Square, which is not the same company at all. It's up 1.71% today. That's crazy. It's weird that they're up while Bank of America, JP Morgan, and all the other big banks are down. But setting my expiration date for next week, January 20th, and I'm assuming that it's going to fall below 7:30. And on that trade, I will pay, looking at put debit spread. Regular puts are way too expensive just because of their share price being so high. But you're paying, oh really, 180. Oh, the bid-ask spread on it is crazy wide. All right, so I got to check Aries for a decent bid-ask spread. Okay. All right, so if we look at BLK, BlackRock, options for January 20th, scroll down the option chain to 7:30 is where I'm assuming that it's going to be below. I sell that option to open. I buy the next one up at 732.5. Place the order. The bid is 60, and then the ask is 120. So that gives me a reference of what I can put into Robinhood to possibly open this order. So I could probably get it for 110 if I put that in. Let me try it. Whoopsies. And this trade, I'm already kind of leveraged on banks, so I probably won't put a lot. I think I'll only put down like 200, 300 at most, just because I'm already aiming to the downside for banks with a Bank of America put option, a Wells Fargo put option. Don't want to over leverage myself to the downside in one specific sector, just in case there's some positive surprises. So I'm just going to spend 200 for here. And the ask now is 80, so we got a way better price than I expected, actually. That's good. We only spent 168 for two of them, so only about 80 something, 84 cents a piece or so. All right. So new options alert, P1F for premium. Just opened a new BLK put debit spread. This one expires next week, 1/20, next Friday. And I snagged them up for 168 over 2, so about 84 each. And my strike prices. All right, there we go. Bank earnings coming up Friday, and likely to be rough because interest rates went up too quickly to keep up. Interest rates went up too quickly for the housing market to cool off. Making homes unaffordable, likely leading to less overall revenue and earnings for banks. What do I think of FXI, Chinese equity index, looking strong after the opening of their economy? I'd be too scared of Xi Jinping rug pulling them again. If I'm being honest there, I can't trust that man. But FXI falling down a bit today. Currently trading flat from Friday's close. I mean, if you want to chase momentum, it's definitely a stock that's going up. The RSI is at 70. I would probably wait till it comes down to like 60 to 50 RSI and then pick it up. But you can always chase momentum. Just make sure you're not the last one in, and you end up like the people right here back in February of 2022 who had to bag hold all the way down. The VIX is up today, 2%. And SPY is up today. That is a convergence, which is usually negative for SPY. So maybe we do end up coming down sometime this week based on that. And based on the inflation report coming out this Thursday, that might send us down. Depending on how it actually comes out. The estimate for this week, I think it's like 6.6% or something like that. Last month was 7.1. If we head over to the economic calendar, we can see the exact numbers. So this week, core CPI is expected to come in. Wait a minute. Oh, that's core CPI. So that excludes energy and food, the two things that we spend the most money on. But, yeah, CPI is expected to come in at 6.5% versus 7.1% last month. And I think it's probably going to come in somewhere between there. Based on what we saw in Europe, it could come in at 6.4%, which would be good for the market. That would probably make it rally by about 3-ish%. But my guess is it probably comes in somewhere in between. Just because in Europe, they're starting to slow down a lot quicker than we are over here in the United States. So I don't think that it's going to come in as low as what Wall Street is expecting here. I think it's probably going to be in line with like 6.6 to 6.9%. Probably in the lower end of that range, probably 6.6 to 6.7 would be my best guess. Last time I based it on the producer price index dropping by about 10%, and I was able to predict that one pretty accurately, but PPI, producer price index, isn't coming out till next week, so we can't use that as a proxy for this CPI report, unfortunately. Maybe we can find some others to go off of, some other maybe inflationary type reports from the last couple of weeks. Looks like we're bouncing off that 391.5 mark again. Let me check my put credit spreads. We might need a close. They're up 56 right now, trading at 9 cents a piece. I think it's worth taking profits. Still bullish on the RSI, so things are still looking positive. But just want to make sure that I take my profits and don't leave it on the table for it to drop right back down. In case we just got a double top here at 392. Just in case. 0.09. I had 8 of them. Whoops. 7 of them, really? I thought I had opened 8, but guess I can't count. I'll close them at... Oh, god dang it. Close them at 9. Hopefully we get filled at 8, but with Robinhood, probably not. 56 for 7, so we actually did get filled at 8. Robinhood was forgiving. Thank you, Vlad. Closing options alert. Premium 101. Just took profits on the 387, 388 SPY put credit spread. That one expires today. 19 at 8 each, and I originally opened those at I think 15 or 14 each. 119 over 7, 17 each. Originally opened 7 at 17 each. So 17 minus 8, $9 times 7, 63 profit. Not too bad. Need to probably increase the amount of profits that I'm taking for each trade. So maybe we size up a little bit or try to find better opportunities, better risk reward trades. Yeah, it looks like we tagged that 392 mark again, so that's a triple top and could head down from there. It's hedging my puts with a 1-day SPY call at the end of each week a good idea? Let's see. Is hedging my puts with one SPY call expiring Friday of each week a good idea? Yeah, you can always change the expiration dates around. And that's also a way to diversify too and hedge your positions, is changing up your expiration dates. So you want to hedge volatility, you want to hedge your expiration date, and you want to hedge your direction, all three of them. That way you put yourself in the best position to make profits on any given day and any given volatility. So you want to diversify in those three manners again, based on direction, based on volatility that you expect, and then based on expiration date. So a few ways to diversify, and then it usually helps you to be a little bit more neutral with your account too. That way you're not seeing like positive, 10% in a day, then down 9% the next day or something like that. Up over 800 on the 115 call on Tesla. That's good. Tesla's definitely getting a little bit of love right now. I don't think I actually bought the shares that I was supposed to on Friday with my dollar cost average plan, but that's okay. Is it good to open some put debit spreads for SPY right now? I would say if you are, set the expiration date for probably Friday and don't go heavy on it, just because CPI could go either way. Let me zoom in. Jesus Christ. We're almost coming up to the trend line that I have drawn. I guess I deleted the trend line itself, but I think it was stemming from the top of the bull market, 479.89 or 98. Nope. I don't want to make a no. I just want to draw a line, please. So based on TA, we might get a rejection sometime soon. Roughly like that. Roughly looking like that. So we still have a little bit of ways to go up on that. If we somehow end up rallying to 400 today, then we would get rejected. But let's see how much longer. Maybe tomorrow if we go up to 400 after Powell's speech. Doesn't seem like a likely thing to happen, but really hard to say. Let me see if I can extend this. All right. So maybe like Thursday, Friday would be the 13th. That's at 399.38. So maybe we end up there by the end of the week, which is slightly outside of this week's risk range at 398. But that wouldn't be surprising if we do have a good inflation report where it comes in below expectations. But I think inflation is going to come in slightly worse than expected. So I would assume that SPY would probably drop around about 2%. So you could probably take on put debit spread, assuming that it'll be like 2% below 393, which would land it at 385. Currently, we're trading at 392. So I'd probably set the expiration date for either Thursday or Friday, and assume that we're going to be below 385. What do you think Powell will say? The speech tomorrow is about the Fed's independence, so I don't think that it's going to be really about anything important. I don't think that it's going to really move the markets in either direction. But, I mean, it's really up in the air. He could say something out of pocket and shake the markets in one direction or another. But it's supposed to be about the Fed's independence from, politics. Funnily enough, the U.S. president is the person who appoints the Fed chair, but they claim their independence from the U.S. government. Right? Anyway, politics aside. Yeah, I think we're headed down to like 386, 385 by the end of the week. If that CPI report comes in bad, probably wouldn't risk more than about 400 on it, though. So let me see if I can snag that up for a decent price. Either I'll set the expiration date for Thursday after the CPI report comes out that day, or Friday, depending on how much I'm paying for it. The January 12th expiration, 385, 386 put debit spread. Currently going for just 30 cents, so that's decent. I feel like it's kind of expensive, though. Oh, sorry. Let's see how much the 386. So if we go one strike price higher, how much do we pay? It's only like 3 cents more expensive. So I'd rather go with the higher strike price and pay a couple extra dollars for it. And I'd probably be willing to put down like 10 of these or so. They're going for 34 each, so I'd only be spending like $300, $400-ish. The bid ask just keeps moving around and tricking me up. There we go. All right, so I opened that put debit spread assuming that we're going to go down for CPI on Friday, down to the 385 mark. Considering we're flying up on last Friday and continuing that rally, that does make this trade a little bit more likely. But we'll see. Just opened a new SPY put debit spread. This one expires 1/12 at 34 each. And that'll probably be the last trade I make for today. So let me log all the trades that I've made, and I'll head on out of here. this is second week, so we're going to highlight these as yellow. Fill color, light yellow. All right. And I think I opened like 3 trades or so. I pull it up on the Discord. Options, alerts. All right, so scrolling to the top of the feed today. Took profits on the 389, 380 call debit spread, so I think I already typed that one in. Don't need to do that again. Open our new 387, 388 put credit spread, and I closed that one, same one today. SPY, put, credit, spread. This is a bearish to neutral strategy. Since the stock can either trade flat or go down. That should be bullish to neutral. Bullish to neutral. It can trade up or go flat. That one expired today. Strike prices I chose were 387 and 388, so I went short for the 388 and then long on the 387. 7 of those, I opened them at 17 each, looks like. And I ended up closing them at 8. And I closed that one myself. Opened a new BLK put debit spread. That is a bearish strategy since I'm assuming that the stock will go down below a price level that it's currently trading above. Expiration date is set for 120, which is 2 weeks out, 11 days to expiration. Strike prices I chose were 732.5 for the long, 730 for the short. I opened 2 of these and I paid 84 each in debit. And then finally this last trade was a SPY put debit spread. So 3 new trades today. Might make one at 3 o'clock or so, right before the close. I think I'll probably fade whatever sentiment we're experiencing in the last hour, just in case the Fed Chair Powell ends up shaking things up. UVXC not looking good, yeah. It's been pretty rough holding that position, but I still think that we're going to get some volatility in the next couple of weeks, so still holding that. Bearish. This one expires for this week, which is 1/13 expiration, Friday the 13th this week. Or actually, it's one day before, 1/12, Thursday. Strike prices I chose were 386 for the long, 385 for the short. I opened 10 of them at 34 each. Alright, so that's all the trades I got for today. Might make some later at 3 o'clock if you want to see the trades that I make after the live session. Join the premium Discord, linked in the pinned comment, and I will catch y'all tomorrow morning, same time at 9:30. See you, everybody.